Are you in for the
Oh
silver
shit,
stage?
gotta get out right now.
What?
It's literally gonna rain right now. The start of the race is wet. I'm gonna leave the dry setup on. But
Yeah,
gotta
okay.
get out right now. Three, turn transmission down.
Place up. Place up.
Dry setup.
Place up.
Um, brakes, that's fine. Go, 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 go. I didn't get the harder tire, by the way, so.
Everyone ready? Okay, let's
That's
go.
one way to start a race, isn't it? But anyways, welcome back to another league race, this time with TMC, TWL, split, of course, and we are in France. As you can see, very interesting kind of set of conditions. Starting here in qualifying, raining straight away. So, and I had to react very, very quickly. And I saw on the weather report there in the garage that it'll be raining for the next. It said I think it said 20, but look, I honestly spent about 2 seconds looking at it. So in my mind, I had to get out as soon as possible to start to get the best time in possible for the heavier rain possibly came. So I was successful in doing that. At least I got out first, and then we are about to set our lap from the supers. So I went on the supers. I didn't get the soft tire I wanted. So but I wanted to start on the supers. Anyways, 37.1, which would have been fine if the rain had kept going, but the lap itself was fine. But unfortunately, Wisley's just got smashed out of 35.7 on ultras. So, and sadly, from there the track dried out. The rain stopped and the track dried out. So the strategy, the gamble hadn't worked. But the honest truth is that the race was going to be wet. The start was going to be wet anyway, so it didn't really matter that my super soft run was a tragedy because starting on ultras, qualifying ultras, of course, starting on inter, so it doesn't even matter. Not even starting on this tire that we're on, and just in the garage, just chilling. You can see the sun is beginning to trying to break through, and the track is bone dry. So, and Paco is actually going to come across and set a 29.2, so proving that the track is more than ready for dry tires. I waited till the end of the session. This is my qualifying lap now. It's my final hot lap. It was pretty good, other than the chicane after the DRS straight. That I thought that could have gone better. I lost a few tenths there, missing the apex, and obviously the apex for the next corner is compromised in the process. But anyways, here we go on the rundown then to the finish line. Very tidy third sector. And we're going to do a time in the 29s, but it's only good enough for ninth place. But to be honest, I was happy to do that at least, because I was pretty much at the back had I invalidated that lap. So one lap and I got it done into ninth. So could have easily been up in seventh, but look, oh well, that's how it goes. I got the lap in, that was what matters. Got the clean lap in, did invalidate it, and ninth is better than 15th for sure. And there's a lot of people like a couple of people like Extrema, Wesker, Tekken, guys I would not want to start behind necessarily. So just didn't want to be held up on the such and accidents and such. But here is the standings. It's finally time to show this. So you can see 56 points in fourth after 7 races. Not too shabby indeed. So hopefully a good result today. It's going to be difficult though from P9 and in the wet. So I wasn't sure if the game would start us on inters. It did. Excuse me. So it started us as inters, and you can see there it's only near the end of the race where the rain stops. Or is it? Well, we'll find out. So, anyways, 4 or 5 red lights. A wheel in the wet is never a good thing. I'm on a dry setup as well, and away we go. I did try and pander the setup to wet as much as I could by lowering the differential and the such. Bit of a weavy heading down into turn 1. Not what I wanted, but honestly, I'm just concentrating so hard right now. Leclerc is going to get contact from RW, I believe, to keep it dry on the outside. But we're going to nip back through at the inside line, then just sneak through there, and then there's BVB in front of us. Try to drive around the outside of him, but he cuts across us there, prevents that. Little naughty, but that's not even the worst. That's going to be happening later in this race. A little bit of a twitch there from him as well. I had to get off the throttle and not run into the back of him. So ultimately made up a position from the start. Leclerc got spun around, and you see in the rearview mirror then the Merc got absolutely demolished. Not sure what happened to him. So, but he's into a wall, so he's somehow managed still in the race. But for us, just kind of navigate through Pace in the wet was horrifically bad for me, so I did my best to try and hold some guys up, but I was ultimately just trying to manage fuel and just being very, very careful with my throttle application, which could have been a lot better in the wet now looking back. Stuff like that, for example, I'm not even, like, should be on the throttle a bit more heading into that braking zone, and then coming out of it should be a bit more aggressive. I do drive sometimes in the wet, like I am on no TC, even though I could probably put my foot to the floor medium TC, but look, I don't spam it like that. So anyways, moving on to lap 2. Jeff has told me that the rain is actually ending in, or there's going to be 10 minutes, sorry, let me try again. There's going to be 10 minutes more of rain, as to keep it trying to nose away around the outside, to kind of cover the inside, and he gets a better run then on exit, and he's going to have the inside line. And to be honest, I had a feeling that I was bottling to keep it up, and I was perfectly fine with him going through at this stage of the race. Did not want to let Afri, or Ocon, as he goes by for racing these days, did not want to let Afri go, so trying to keep him behind. But to keep it, I thought, okay, he's got a pretty decent pace advantage. And look at that, he's already probably nearly second ahead already, so I don't mind letting him go. All sorts of traffic up ahead here. There's BVB, there is Tequipa, there's Bugatti, there's Paco. So there's a lot going on in the early stage of this lap. We're only on lap 3, and Afri trying to squeeze away past, move back onto the racing line before the corner. That's fine. And just trying to navigate through turn 1 and 2. They want to get a penalty on exit, so sticking ahead of Afri for the time being. This is for P9, so this is not where I want to be really. Ideally, I'd like to be a little bit higher, but again, a dry setup, the condition, the wheel isn't exactly the best in the wet, and could go a bit faster. I was being a bit too cautious, rather, I should say. Anyways, coming out here now, we see Paco, I think, is going to end up in the wall. Is he? Not quite this lap, but Ocon, or Afri, I need to get out of that habit. It's Afri behind me, and look at the battle you can see in front, like a lot of cars. So I'm kind of, in a sense, I wish I was a bit further up, but I'm actually not too upset to be where I am. So ignore everything I said before. Given how much is going on up there, I'm like, okay, let me just, I don't mind being here, but I need to keep ahead of Africa. I'm going to go some live radio now. Oh God. How I didn't touch, I got a warning for that though, for avoiding a crash.
There, I'll never know. How the fuck you didn't break your wing there? I'll never know.
If you got no wing, oh, that's how you say I didn't got wing damage.
So did well to avoid that, and I was they say I was lucky. Scuba and Matt doing a good job helping me throughout this race, but I thought I did a good job avoiding that. I kind of measured that well, but it was very close. Anyway, so we could move up then through by way of that, and there is Paco. So there is Paco, lap 4. Paco's in the wall, out of the race, and I'm trying to defend from Afri behind. I go defensive, try to keep in the middle of the track, just move back over a slight bit, just give enough room on the edge, head into the braking zone, give enough space through this corner as well. I've got the outside and the racing line, so that should push me ahead, and I do indeed stay ahead. Plenty of ERS to spare and some fuel, so I can bump those up to help with my straight line speed. Didn't really want Afri to go up there. You might be able to hear some of the live chat in the background, me saying don't try it, because it's not really a place to, unless you run really wide, it's not really overtaking places around this part of the track. If you run side by side, it's different, but if you're ahead, unless you run really wide, it's not really a place you should be trying to overtake. But anyways, Afri is good enough, obviously, racing, so we didn't have a massive accident, and I'm still in P8, but I feel like it's only a matter of time before he's getting by. So anyways, you can see the track, the conditions are getting a bit brighter, the sky a bit brighter, and I'm going to ask Jeff how much time I'm attempting to ask Jeff what the conditions are like. So 5 more minutes, my DRS is actually not operating. Of course, well, even if it was enabled, my DRS wouldn't be working. But anyways, here comes Afri on the right hand side. Like I said before, my throttle application wasn't brilliant at times. I was way too slow on the throttle. Go try and fight this, but Afri's got some good lines. He's got more optimal lines on the inside. I'm trying to hang around the outside. Again, leaving space, just enough space. He kind of understeers a bit. And to be honest, I lifted out of this one, but fair play to Afri, he really committed to that. I thought he was going to crash, and he deserved that spot after that. Really, that was a brave one for Afri to do. Going to try go up the inside. A bit of a late move by Afri there, but that's okay. I don't really have issues with Afri, so it was a bit late, but I thought, okay, whatever, keep racing. So. And this is where ultimately things aren't going to work out, because around the outside, you know, at some stage you have to back out of it, and I did back out, and that's going to bring Tekken into the fall behind. Tekken now was, I didn't want Afri to get by. You can see obviously how much Takipa has driven away up the road, so obviously no chance holding him up. But with Afri and Tekken did not want to let these guys by, and sadly couldn't prevent either of them, or couldn't prevent Afri from going by. So. Lap 6, there's an incident up ahead with BVB, and Afri's going to nip through, but I'm just in that spot where I'm not going to get by, so I'm going to dip into the slipstream, and I'm too far back to really attempt anything, so settle in. Tekken's still a little bit behind me there, so like lap 7, obviously a lot happened in this first stint, so but the rain is coming to an end soon. And just chilling at this moment behind BVB and Afri. Still not my most fantastic race so far, but there's a long way left yet. So in lap 8, there's a collision with Afri and BVB, and that sends Afri off, and BVB limps on. I don't know if he has wing damage or not, but we're going to catch up to him quite quickly here. And I thought, okay, this is my chance. If he's got wing damage, I gotta take advantage. So and Tekken's just behind me still, so not really safe by any means, even though P6 is just there up ahead and limping away. So it's going to take it nice and slow, and well, I can only say enjoy what's to come and enjoy the live radio.
We're not going to be able to run in this engine mode much longer. We're about
Rain has stopped.
Drop down to mix too soon.
Man, his driving's really bad.
Yeah. Be careful.
Late switches, unorthodox lines. His back end's twitching all over the place. Come on. I gotta get this done soon. Tekken's getting back into the fray. Oh my god, you can't do that! That's disgraceful. So I wasn't too happy with that bit of defending from BVB, and it's going to get even worse now. Being held up and all this has allowed Tekken to just drive onto the back of me, like after undoing all the work I did to try and pull away from him. So to keep it though, you can see it has stopped raining. The rain has stopped. The keeper's coming to the pits. He's putting on dries, and again,
what is he doing?
absolute madness from BVB with that move. That was absolutely appalling. So, best believe that's been sent into the stewards, and I'm more so worried about A, getting damage, and then there's B, Tekken behind, because this has allowed him just to catch back up again. So, but honestly, very, very frustrating being stuck behind. It's being stuck behind someone is whatever, but when they do defensive moves like that, like it's just blocking and refuse, like you're not getting by me under any circumstance. It's just bad, man. It's just really poor. Thankfully, he pulls into the pits, lap 11, heading on to lap 12. He's putting on dries. A couple of guys putting on dry tyres. Track is still too wet, but the thing is that tyre wear on the wets here is quite high. So you can see Medium Pilot is ahead now. He's on softs, and you'll see the difference in the track. Like, so even though it's been dry for a number of laps now, or it's been stopped raining for a number of laps, but it hasn't been quick to dry. So just tiptoeing my way around because you have to be so careful these guys on dry tires, and thankfully medium pile didn't put up too much of a fight and didn't make things too difficult. So anyways, puts me into P3, but of course I've got to make a stop onto the dry tires soon. Jeff coming over the radio to suggest a new strategy. It is in fact dry tires. I am not interested in what he's offering because it's ultra soft and super soft. I want to go on softs to the end, but anyways, so here we go. About to put a lap on Wesker here, so I don't want to rub salt into the wounds, but you can see there the tires 77%, and that was very urgent to me because like, whoa, I have to come in this lap because I hadn't really been monitoring the tires, and I have to come in. And I took it very, very cautiously from here on out because I've seen other people get punctures in the wet, and thankfully limped back 81%. So Kieran Trapp, sorry, that will probably upset you because you got a puncture on 75 odd and I got to 80 plus. But anyways, lap 13, it's still not dry enough. DRS has still not been enabled, but there's no choice here really. Like, it's just you have to come out on the dries because there's no chance you're making up 23 seconds. I almost run into the wall there, so didn't want another incident over Brazil there, shall we? So I was very lucky there because I put down the throttle. I obviously wanted to push, and it almost cost me dearly. So anyways, RW is on inters. He's behind me. He's not pitted. Well, sorry, he did pit. He pitted in lap 5, and I think he had like, if you pitted early in this race for another set of inters and able to just extend life into them at this phase of the race. Look at that nonsense warning, man, for running wide. But there's only 2 warnings in this race for absolute nonsense. So anyways, RW nips through, and nothing I could do about that, obviously. So, but the right strategy, really, if it was an early stop on the inters, put another set of inters on, because at this stage of the race, like, look at that, RW is 7 seconds, and that was this next lap. So it just shows you the track was nowhere near ready. But a lot of people, like myself, had to take the plunge and put on the dries before we got punctures. Anyways, RW's in the pits, puts on super soft. Wizlig makes a stop, puts on inters, which people found very amusing. Lap 15, DRS is about to be enabled. There it is. Track has been improving. Tekken stayed out, didn't put on, stay on inters. Very good call in the wet. He's going to put on super. So I was quite worried at this stage of the race that these guys are on supers, I'm on softs, I'm on older softs. What can I do? It's going to be difficult. Wizlig then is going to come into the pits then and change his inters for a set of super softs. So 3 quick drivers behind me. And you can see I did a 44.9 there. RW did a 41.8. And he's just behind Tekken. So, and Tekken was catching me as well this early phase. So things weren't looking especially fantastic. Lap 20, track is getting quicker and quicker and quicker. Gap is 1.8 seconds to Tekken. There's a long way in front between medium pilot Bugatti and RL Schumacher. So forget those guys. It's the guys behind me, and RW gets by Tekken. So I thought, okay, now that Tekken's kind of fallen behind a bit, they started squabbling. They allowed me to kind of get away, and Tekken just fell off a cliff basically in the dries. RW then got past, and Wizlig won't be too much long getting by him either. So 2.7 seconds back to RW, and Wizlig got by him, and now Wizlig is behind me, and I got a really poor run in this chicane. Just wasn't good. Exit wasn't fantastic. Wizlig on supers, he's just quicker than me, and he had a time penalty. I know that Tekken had time penalties. I knew that RW had time penalties thanks to Scuba and Matt helped me during the race with that. But there's in that part of the track nothing I could really do to fight this one. Wish I could have, but sadly nothing I could really do. And to be honest, I thought my race was more so with RW than with Wizlig, because again Wizlig's just too quick for me, and he's on supers. So that was the thinking there. And honestly, that was basically the race. Like that was it. Continue to extend the gap to RW. I did fall out of range of Wizlig in terms of 3 seconds. I just fell outside of that. So, but in saying that, I thought this second part of the stint. See, once I had the dry setup on, I thought things and the softs got acclimated to the track, and the track was dry enough. I was really happy with the pace. Really happy. But going to be short on this occasion for P4, but it is going to be P5 that's a really good result. That was a manic race, as you saw. Not the easiest to navigate, and thanks, I had good help as well. But very happy with that result. Again, look at that, 2/10 off of Wislik in the end. So I had a really good last lap. I think those supers may have been starting to die on those guys. So again, I thought I made the right call ultimately with the soft tyre. Only driver not to get a penalty. Happy days. And I believe Darkbolt nominated me as, or named me driver of the day, which is always nice. So anyways, I was just desperate, hoping that someone had penalties for a drive through that wasn't served above me. Anyways, they didn't. That's going to do it for round number 8 of TMC. Next up is Austria. So that should be fun. So until next time.